Welcome to Property Law 101. I'm Sara Bronin, and I created the series to help you understand the basics of property law. We're talking about 4 fundamental questions in this series, and today we're talking about the third question, which is using property. We'll turn now to the concept of servitudes, agreements between neighbors, between co-owners, or between current and future owners, which run with the land. They're tailored agreements that burden one parcel while benefiting either the owner or owners of another parcel or benefiting an individual. Servitudes are also special restrictions that don't apply to an ordinary parcel of land. They are private rules that have been bargained outside of government, so they're not what you would consider public law. However, they can be enforced by courts within certain legal regimes and doctrines, so they are not 100% private. This is important to remember when watching the video about Shelley versus Kramer. So there are 2 primary types of servitudes, and these are very broad categories. First, affirmative servitudes. These are the right to use someone's land for a limited purpose, something like an easement for access, a right-of-way, or maybe even a profit, which allows others to collect things from land. Second category of servitudes are negative. They involve the right to restrict what owners can do with their own land. For example, negative servitudes include covenants not to use property for certain things or to modify property in certain ways. Some examples of negative servitudes might include solar rights or the right to prevent light and air from being blocked by something your neighbor does in your property, the right to prevent interference with artificial streams, and conservation and preservation restrictions that you will be learning about in another video. Servitudes often have to follow certain formalities dictated by state law. Other videos in this series cover the formalities of creating easements and creating covenants. So these are, again, 2 particular types of servitudes that may have different characteristics. I will leave it at that very brief introduction. I'd love to hear from you on Twitter at Sara Bronin or through my website, where you can sign up to my mailing list. See you next time.